tell me! Both of you!
You will go one-on-one with The Undertaker!
I love the stuff. But we're not here, Mikey. We have a lot on the docket of the show today. We're not here necessarily to give everyone your music reviews, although we may give that later in like other episodes. We are here to book SmackDown Live. It is our job to book SmackDown Live every week. Between the two of us, it's gonna be a lot. We have a lot to do, but first we want to do is last weekend was Takeover Brooklyn 4 and SummerSlam at the Barclays Center. So we figured we wanted to review that a little bit, and then we'll go straight into the booking and do what people have come here for. But we gotta talk about what went down on Takeover, what went down at SummerSlam, Mikey. We gotta talk about what's happening in the world of wrestling.
So we do that in this segment called the pre-show.
Just like a 2-hour pre-show, this show will not. Okay, well, this show will not last. This won't last 2 hours. This pre-show hopefully will not last 2 hours.
Oh, it's not.
But no, I mean, we can if we want to. We're the ones doing it. But just like the WWE SummerSlam pre-show, we're here giving you choice things. Actually, honestly, I like the pre-show at SummerSlam. I know we're going to do Takeover first, and we'll get to SummerSlam. I thought it was a pretty good pre-show. I thought the matches were fairly solid.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
We'll get to more of that later, probably. But yes, first off, in our pre-show, let's talk about what happened this weekend. Takeover Brooklyn 4 and SummerSlam. Mikey, you watched both of these.
Yep. Yes, I was around for both of them, and I have my thoughts on both as well.
Okay, let us start with Takeover 4, because that was on Saturday. Let's just go. I figured let's just go kind of. We have a lot. There's a lot of matches to talk about. I figured we kind of just go quick, give our initial thoughts or give us our thoughts, and then we'll give our rating. Instead of a star rating, we'll give everyone a meatball rating. How many meatballs would you give each match?
How many spicy meatballs?
Yeah, how many spicy meatballs would you give each match? Instead of rating its spicy scale, which we do for our booking, we'll give it how many meatballs. Because Meltzer has the stars, we can keep the meatballs.
So now we have a spicy scale and a meatball scale.
Oh yeah, we're on a meatball scale. So at Takeover Brooklyn 4, we had, I believe, 5 matches. We'll go bit by bit, Mikey. Give us your thoughts. Undisputed Era defeats Mustache Mountain to retain their NXT Tag Team Championships. Mikey, what were your thoughts on the match?
My thoughts on this match were that it was hands down match of the night.
Ooh, really?
They put on such an amazing show, and both teams did like an incredible job, and this match was absolutely insane. I think it was the match of the night, honestly.
Really, it says something when your match of the night is also your opener match of your pay-per-view. Like your opening if your opening match is like a potential for a 5 meatball classic, then that is a good that is a strong start to a weekend of wrestling. If Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven go out there and able to do what they're able to do. I mean, in my opinion, Mikey, Tyler Bate is MVP of this match.
I agree 100%. Tyler Bate was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You're looking at this kid. He is, 21, I think? I don't know if he's 22 yet, but I think he's 21. He's vegan. He's able to just one arm. Yeah, he is 21. He's just able to one arm pick up Kyle O'Reilly and then throw him over and then do that, sort of like a swing airplane combo.
I couldn't even believe it. I was in awe of what Tyler Bate was doing all night, like that whole match.
He was MVP, and this doesn't take it away from Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, or Trent Seven. They were equally as great, but Tyler Bate just shines throughout this match. Really, really good. How many meatballs? How many meatballs, Mikey?
I gave it the 5 meatballs. I gave it the whole 5 meatballs. I thought it was
Ooh.
an amazing match, and I thought it went super well, and I was hooked the entire time. And I give it 5 meatballs. I thought it was great.
Wow, that's 5 meatballs it gets. Next up, moving right along because we got a lot of matches to talk about, a lot of things to talk about. Velveteen Dream defeats EC3 in 15 minutes for no titles, just a normal singles match. But Velveteen Dream defeats EC3. Mikey, your thoughts?
I thought the storytelling in this match was pretty good. Velveteen and EC3 did a good job. I'm still not exactly hooked on EC3's character as much as I am on Velveteen. So I figured it was going to be mostly Velveteen carrying the match, and it kind of was. But I thought it was very good, and Velveteen hitting his finishers on the apron was absolutely bonkers. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the character of Velveteen Dream, we've seen it at countless takeovers. Beautiful, everything he does, from his tights to his wardrobe choices to
his
any,
tights,
like his
tights
moveset.
were
His
incredible.
tights are beautiful. Every single match. I mean, you got he debuts sort of at Takeover with that Aleister Black Velveteen Dream, sort of like Rick Rude-esque tights. Then you get like the I think the Ricochet tights, which were literally just ricochets. His Prince Puma tights, like those were great. I mean, the Call Me Up Vince from Takeover with EC3 was great. I mean,
yeah. For those who don't know, at Takeover last weekend at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, Velveteen Dream had tights that just on his ass said "Call Me Up Vince," and I think that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's amazing that like you can get so much out of the character of Velveteen Dream just by the fact that on his butt it just says "Call Me Up Vince." Like it's like, oh, I know who this guy is. He is a cocky motherfucker, and he is going to prove why he's that great. And then he wins the match and is like, oh, he is that great.
Velveteen Dream is just great.
Oh yeah, he is just great. I mean, I sort of agree with you that the EC3 character, I think it's weird to say that, like, I feel like he's sort of like kind of lost in the shuffle. I get like his character, that he is sort of this like rich boy, and that he is the top 1%. But I think EC3 is one of those people, kind of, in my opinion, kind of like Cassius Ohno, where he's kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit. I mean, Cassius Ohno wasn't even on this card at all. And he's an amazing wrestler. Lars Sullivan wasn't on this card at all, and he's an amazing wrestler. Like, they have a lot of people, and I mean, now we're gonna get like we have Keith Lee. We're now gonna get Matt Riddle. Like, there are some people that shine above the rest, like Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, all these Pete Dunne, all these guys that like EC3. He's an amazing wrestler. He has amazing persona. He's so charismatic, but he is sort of like, I don't know, lost in the shuffle a little bit for me. I want to see something more. I don't know who you feud him with to do something like that. Maybe Ono, maybe they can lift each other up. Maybe like a Ricochet type. But I don't know. Like he needs something. He needs something.
I agree with you. EC3 hasn't had his like moment to shine yet, and I think that's criminal because he's very good, and I think he could be amazing once he gets that moment, and if they get it right. But so far he just doesn't have any like luster. Like, he's good, but he's just not amazing in my eyes yet, you know?
Mm-hmm. Next up, for the NXT North American Championship in 15 minutes and 19 seconds, Ricochet defeats and wins the NXT North American Championship from Adam Cole. What were your thoughts on this match, Mikey?
Before we move on to that, I gave Dream versus EC3 4 meatballs.
Oh, thank you. I almost forgot about our meatballs. 4 out of 5 meatballs. That's still good. I mean, that's like still pretty good. Next up, Ricochet, Adam Cole. Thoughts?
That match was insane. I'm pretty sure Adam Cole's feet are sniper rifles.
That moonsault, that springboard moonsault.
That moonsault super kick spot was insane, and Adam Cole hit it perfectly while Ricochet was upside down. Like, what the hell?
I mean, I remember as a child being amazed by the Shelton Benjamin Shawn Michaels super kick, which that is god tier in its own right. But if that was god tier, this must have been like Olympia, like immediately die and go to Olympia and just watch that gif over and over again. Like,
He was upside down.
pinpoint accuracy from Adam Cole. Amazing match. Top down amazing match. Like Ricochet, Adam Cole. Like, there's big things for Ricochet and Adam Cole. I'm excited to see where it goes to next. Where Adam Cole goes next. Who Ricochet could face. I mean, maybe an EC3, maybe a Velveteen Dream. A Ricochet Velveteen Dream 2 match would be amazing for this title. Oh my god.
Wonderful.
Like, where does he go from here? I'm excited. What sort of meatball rating would you give this match, Mikey?
I gave this a 4.75 meatball rating. I thought it was a phenomenal match, and I think it was really good, and they were both very good in the ring. I thought it kind of lacked the storytelling a little bit of, like, what the whole feud was about, but I thought it was still very good.
Mm-hmm.
This match was more reliant on spots, I felt like really big, crazy spots than anything else. Not that it was bad, because those spots were executed wonderfully, but I think it was a 4.75 meatball rating.
This is not a takeaway from Ricochet or Adam Cole, but yeah, they are especially Ricochet, sort of as some people say, a spot fest. Like, he does do a lot of spots. They're amazing feats of athleticism that I can never do on my best day or any day. What he does is just defy gravity. He is the one and only that can do that. But yeah, I mean that
exactly.
I would love to see a match from Ricochet where it's less spots and more like he is forced to be grounded, which Adam Cole tried to do in this match. He tried to keep him grounded and it just didn't really work. Ricochet rose above it, but if you can get a match that Ricochet's forced to be down and be more methodical, maybe, I don't know. That could be an interesting side of Ricochet that I don't think anyone's seen in a while.
Give him a little more technicality. See what he could do instead of just flying around the ring.
Next up, you said 4.75 meatballs for Adam Cole and Ricochet, correct?
Yes, I have 4.75 for the North American title match.
Kairi Sane defeats Shayna Baszler to win the NXT Women's Championship. Mikey, I thought this was a pretty good match. This is a really good match. I love this match. Really good. Thoughts on this match, Mikey?
I agree with you. This match is amazing. Both performers put on such a show. I think it was Shayna Baszler's best match she's ever had. Kairi Sane also was awesome, and she really kind of showed. The storytelling was very good in this match because she showed her killer instinct that Shayna Baszler said she was lacking. I thought it was an amazing showing. I gave it. I'll talk about the meatballs later, but I thought it was a great showing. I'm very glad Kairi is the champion now because she has worked so hard for it, and I think she was very deserving of it. And the Pirate finally found her treasure.
Yes, she did finally find her treasure. She actually tweeted out, I want to say like last night. We're recording this Monday morning. She tweeted, I think, last night on Sunday, a picture of like a treasure chest, and inside the treasure chest was the NXT Women's Championship, which I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. She's perfect. She can do no wrong.
She's very perfect. I think this also maybe gives me a little suspicion of a Shayna Baszler call up. I think
we'll talk about that. I have a question for you, and we'll talk about that later. But honestly, for me, it could go either way. I thought Shayna Baszler can get called up and maybe tag with Ronda for a little bit, but I mean, now that Ronda's the women's champion, which we'll talk about later, I don't know. Like, does Ronda really need backup, sort of like Shayna? Are we looking towards a possible 4 horsemen of MMA versus 4 horsemen of WWE at Survivor Series? That could be freaking dope. Who knows? Even if she gets called up, I don't know where she would go. Raw makes sense, I guess, but you also already have Ronda. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with her. What sort of meatball rating would you give Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler?
I also gave this one a 4.75.
Ooh, awesome. Your meatballs. This is a really good show for you. This is the show.
This was an amazing. So the lowest, I can tell you right now, that the lowest rating match was a 4.0. So yeah, it was very good.
And I believe the next match, the only match left, is Tommaso Ciampa defeating Johnny Gargano in a last man standing match for the NXT Championship. Are you insinuating that you gave this match a 4.0?
I gave this match a 4.25.
A 4.25. Oh, my mistake.
Dream and EC3 got a 4.0.
EC3, you're right. That is correct. Iris remembered. So you said this got a 4.25. Why did it get that?
It was an amazing match. It was a Gargano Ciampa match, which are always incredible to watch. Storytelling wise, it was great. I didn't like the ending.
No, why'd you not like the ending? Or what about the ending did you not like?
I don't know. I don't think like I think that should not have been the ending. I think they both should have gotten up at 9, even though, and they could have still told the story that Gargano hurt himself so bad that like he almost cost himself the title. But like I know what Triple H, I know what happened. I heard what the interview with Triple H on how it was an improv ending. But as viewers, we aren't really supposed to know that. I guess like we're supposed to believe that that's how they planned the ending to be, and that's what it was supposed to be. And if that was what it was supposed to be, I don't think it was as strong as it should have been. And there was kind of a lack of like there was a bunch of it was a spot fest again. Like there was a lack of good wrestling. I feel like it was just a lot of big spots where they tried to get it. Like I guess that's what a last man standing match is, but there could have been a little more wrestling happening, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're coming at this like this match is going to be a fight. Like Johnny Gargano's coming at this with this aggressive, angry, more aggressive side against Tommaso Ciampa. So it's a fight is what you're going to get in this match. Like I thought the amount of callbacks that they had with the various different like weapons and props that they used in the past, the whole that's not the stretcher's not what it's called. What is it called? You thing you have when your leg is hurt and you're walking around with
crutch?
It. Crutch. That's the word. When you're walking
yeah,
around
no,
with crutch.
I agree. I like the storytelling with the weapons a lot. Like I like the crutch. They had the handcuffs again. I was excited that they finally brought out tables, even though that was fun.
Yeah, it was. I thought, in my opinion, I thought it was a great match. I love just the ability of storytelling and tiny details like that with the crutch. I mean, handcuffs, sort of tables a little bit. Like the storytelling that they're able to tell. Like I saw someone saying that, or I noticed actually that Tommaso Ciampa, when he like gave the referee at the beginning of his match like the belt, instead of like kissing the belt part, he kissed like his nameplate on the side, that like Ciampa nameplate on the side. Just like those sort of details of like, oh god, you like, it's the details of like these characters that make them so like, I don't want to say likable because I don't want to say Tommaso Ciampa is likable, but there's details about these guys that are just like, oh my god, there's just it makes me, as a fan, it makes me enjoy it much more.
I agree with that, and I do like the little details. Another little detail I really liked was, well, not really little, but Gargano did a play on his Spider-Man attire, but it was Venom, and I thought that was super clever because it's like Tommaso Ciampa is Gargano's symbiote almost, like corrupting him, and I think that was super cool.
Yeah. The costuming on in NXT, a little bit of WWE main roster as well, but just NXT's costuming is, the story of the costumes is his own thing. It's just beautiful. And you said you gave this 4.25 meatballs. I had a couple questions for you, Mikey. Just a couple. First one, do you think that this is the end of the Gargano Ciampa storyline for now, or do you think it's going to continue in some way?
I don't think this is going to end until Gargano takes that title from Ciampa.
Do you think he ever will before they both get called up for main roster?
I think it's going to happen. I think it's got to happen. I think my idea of what's going to happen is that Gargano's going to get his moment, and he's going to get the title. And then they're going to find out he's the one who attacked Black, and then they're going to strip him of the title, and that's how he's going to get called up.
That's sort of.
So I think they're going to give him his moment and also give him the call. Like, he's going to have his cake and eat it too, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. That sort of answers my next question was, who do you think attacked Aleister Black?
I think it was Gargano.
You think it was Gargano?
I think Gargano wanted Ciampa all to himself. I think it was Gargano.
What I know so far is that Undisputed Era has been cleared, so all 4 of those guys were not involved. What I'm excited about most for this whodunit storyline of Aleister Black is just one-on-one interrogations with every person. EC3, Velveteen Dream, Ciampa, Gargano. I want to see these one-on-one interrogations so badly, because if there's nothing more of I can dive more into these characters and more into who they are, their psychology, than just a one-on-one interrogation. I can figure out so much. If people are like what we said, if we're sort of confused about EC3 a little bit or Cassius Ohno or whatever, this sort of one-on-one interrogation moment would be that sort of thing of just oh, I can figure who you are out more. And all it is just a couple minutes on an NXT episode, and the chance of having seeing more William Regal be part of that. I'm there for it even more. I want this. I want one-on-one. I want to figure out who these people are more. EC3. You can even get people I don't know, Raul Mendoza or Kona Reeves, the finest. You can get Keith Lee, Matt Riddle. I doubt Matt Riddle attacked him, but you can get these people. And we can see more of the characters and figure out who they are. It would just make it, in my opinion, you have a chance. Let's take it. Let's figure out who these people are. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think that's a really rad idea, and I think that would be good for a lot of people's characters who we don't get to see as often. This leads me to another question. Who do you think did it?
Who do I think did it? Well, with Undisputed Era no longer in there, I don't think it's Adam Cole. I guess it could be Adam Cole, but he's not, I guess, anymore. I would think it would be someone new that he hasn't had a real rivalry with. So I don't think it's Velveteen Dream. It could be Cassius Ohno. He is the knockout artist. But that might be a red herring. Lars Sullivan is a monster. I sort of agree with the idea that maybe these all people Cassius Ohno, Lars Sullivan, maybe are all red herrings. Maybe I could see it being Gargano. If I had to give one pick, if I had to give a pick, I would say I would probably say Gargano. I would also probably say Gargano. It feels right. If you're looking at it the character of Johnny Gargano is this guy that's taking more aggressive, and he's just enthralled with the idea of taking down Tommaso Ciampa. Wouldn't it make sense for him to be I want Tommaso Ciampa one-on-one. I don't want Aleister Black. And wouldn't it make sense for Gargano to take out Black so that he can get Ciampa one-on-one?
That's what my mindset was, and I agree with that. I think he wanted Ciampa one-on-one. He wanted to be the one to take him out if anybody did, and he didn't want to risk having it be Black, so he did the thing.
And just the hubris of a Gargano type to be I want to take out Ciampa by myself. I don't need Aleister Black, even though that would probably help his chances because Aleister Black would also be attacking Tommaso Ciampa in a triple threat.
I think Black would be going after Gargano. Gargano's the one who cost him the title.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way. I'm very excited. We haven't had a whodunit sort of storyline in a long time in wrestling, and these sort of different storylines of whodunit or invasion angles or whatever, they always excite me as a fan because it is sort of we don't get to see these storylines too often. So I'm excited for what it could be. Last questions before we move on to SummerSlam. Mikey, if Vince called up one person to either Raw or SmackDown Live that performed at TakeOver, who do you think it would be?
Velveteen. I think he just did an amazing job, and he's been consistently doing great. And I think if anyone's getting called up after this weekend, it's Velveteen.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I could see Adam Cole maybe getting called up as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
not
another
as
thing
well,
I
but
thought,
if we had
because why would he lose the title and Undisputed Era keep their tag titles? Like, I felt like that was weird.
yeah, it is sort of weird. But also you have not heavy machinery, War Raiders on the horizon,
That's true.
ready to take those belts from Undisputed Era. I mean, if you're gonna bring up Adam Cole, the question of bringing up Undisputed Era along with him is a very good point, because that's 4 guys right there. What are you gonna do? I mean, bring the SmackDown, bring the Raw, bring him up individually, and separate him. I don't know. Adam Cole, it sort of feels like it's a package deal.
It looks like they're gonna start separating. I think they might call up Cole because I think he's the best by himself.
It is true. I'm excited. I'm so excited forever. My prediction would be Velveteen Dream debuting on Raw tonight, because it's very interesting. We are recording this Monday morning, and we're releasing the episode Tuesday morning, so we don't know what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. So we have, I guess, we can only make predictions on what happens. So I'm excited for maybe a Velveteen Dream. Let's move right along to SummerSlam. Mikey, let's move to SummerSlam. Okay. Just real quick, we don't have to give big reviews for the pre-show, but just give me your quick thoughts on the pre-show matches. Almas Vega defeating Rusev and Lana. Quick thoughts and ratings.
Almas Vega Almas Vega and Rusev Day was okay. It wasn't a bad match. I think that Almas and Vega winning still, even without an Aiden English interference, definitely helps them. And I thought it was a solid match. Probably like 3.5 meatballs.
Okay. Cedric Alexander defeats and retains the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak. Thoughts?
That match was really good. The ending was a little awkward, but otherwise, I thought it was a solid match all around, and I think it's a 4 meatball match.
B Team retains and defeats the Revival for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships.
Less good. I was really hoping the Revival was going to win this one because I think they needed it very much. I don't think if the B Team lost, I don't think it would have hurt them at all because they're like a joke team anyway. I think the Revival really needed this win, and they didn't get it, and it's not great. 2.5, I think.
It certainly sets up a additional sort of like storyline for them to continue and maybe get it eventually, but it's sort of like the B Team is our champions when you got the Revival there. I don't know. It could go either way. First match of the main card of the pay-per-view for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose defeats and wins the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre on his side. Thoughts on this matchup?
This was a solid match. I thought it was great. Seth and Ziggler did an amazing job as usual. Dean Ambrose on Seth's side was good because Drew McIntyre did not get involved as much as he should have, or as much he usually would have. Dean Ambrose was definitely deterrent to that, and I think the Dean McIntyre stare downs were really, really cool. And I was always waiting for like something to happen between them. I think I give that a 4 meatball rating for that match.
I'm excited to see where this. I mean, obviously, with Seth winning the title, that allows Dolph Ziggler to get a rematch clause. I'm excited to see where this sort of storyline goes with now Dean Ambrose being a part of it. A Dean Ambrose Drew McIntyre match sounds pretty dope. Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, McIntyre. You have all these matchups that you can do back and forth to sort of make the pot interesting. Where this goes, I don't know. With a maybe possible heel turn on Dean Ambrose heel turn on Seth Rollins, I don't know.
I think that's what they're gonna go for. I think they're gonna go for the Ambrose is gonna turn on Rollins and go for the IC title.
I think it's going to go with Dean Ambrose eating Seth Rollins and gaining more muscle mass.
Also that.
Next up, the New Day defeats the Bludgeon Brothers by disqualification. So the Bludgeon Brothers technically retain their WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Match was solid. I gave it a 3 meatball rating because I didn't I get the ending, but I still didn't like it. I still wanted I get that it was New Day was putting up a fight and Bludgeon Brothers didn't think they were going to be able to come out on top, so they DQ'd themselves to come out with the titles and make New Day look a little scarier. But I think that they could have had that same exact effect with maybe a desperation double team move that the ref didn't see, or a sneaky move that the ref didn't see, and then win by pinfall. And I still think there could. It was a weird way to end that match.
I mean, for me, it's nice to see the Bludgeon Brothers to do some actual bludgeoning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is sort of oh, disqualification. I guess we're going to see more of New Day and Bludgeon Brothers, which we kind of already seen before. So that's why I kind of feel like if we could include maybe Sanity into this feud a little bit. I don't know. We've seen sort of this rivalry before, so I kind of want to see where it can go. I don't know, in a different direction. I don't know. But by disqualification, that means it's probably going to continue. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? What was your rating for this matchup?
3.
A solid 3. A solid 3 meatballs. Next up, in a minute 50, Braun Strowman defeats Kevin Owens and I guess retains his Money in the Bank contract. That would be the terminology, I guess. But yes, Mikey, what were your thoughts on this less than 2-minute match?
I have one word for this match, and that word is just why.
Oh no! Why do you say that?
The entire pay-per-view could have went exactly the same without this match. There was no point to it.
I mean,
there was no point to having this match at all. I love Kevin Owens, but I think they should have made this what they should have done was have Kevin Owens do some Eddie Guerrero type shit, throw grab a chair while the ref isn't looking and throw it at Braun and then lay down he got hit or something like that. He should have snuck in some weird tactics for him to win the match, since he could have won the briefcase in any way, instead of it just being a squash. Because it just being a squash made it literally it had 0 point to it.
To counteract your point, Mikey, I don't necessarily like squash matches, but with the amount of, we had 10 matches on this card to get through.
And 3 of them were
squashes. Squash match had to be in there, but if I'm thinking about a storyline point, you're trying to set up Braun Strowman as the monster, so destroying Kevin Owens is good. I wish there was more. I don't think 2 minutes was appropriate, but there should have been more of Kevin Owens trying to do these cheap Eddie Guerrero tactics, because he knows that I just have to get disqualified or whatever, count out. If I just keep Strowman outside for 10 seconds, I win. But just Braun Strowman coming out there, it sets it up that when he came out later in the main event, you're oh god, he destroyed Kevin Owens earlier. He could destroy Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in no sweat, I guess. I don't know.
We knew he was the monster already, though. We knew he could do that already. We've seen him destroy Kevin over and over and over again. We know he can do that. I don't know.
Yeah, and why do it?
It was a squash match.
That's true. What ratings? What meatball ratings? How many meatballs?
I gave it 1.5. I just thought it was stupid and I didn't like it.
Next up, you don't like it. Next up, a match that a lot of people liked, especially the ending. Triple threat match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defeats Carmella and Becky Lynch, with Becky Lynch after the match attacking Charlotte Flair. This match sort of got me heated. Mikey, give me your thoughts first.
Oh my god, this match got me so unbelievably heated. Like I was mad. I was
What do you mean?
mad. I was so ready. I was so ready for Becky to have her moment and win this match. Um, However, the match itself was very good. I thought all the women did an awesome job. I think Carmella didn't do that bad either. She had some nice spots and some nice moments of wrestling that she shined a little bit. I think everyone pulled off a really great match. I think all around the match was like a 3.75 meatball match for me. I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a second rating for this match, and that's the rating for the Becky heel turn, which is 10 meatballs, because that was phenomenal.
What were your thoughts on the crowd during the Becky heel turn? Because that was a debate. Apparently, that's where I got heat. That's where I get heated.
Yeah, it was a Becky quote unquote heel turn. I don't think it should have been a heel turn. I think it should have been. I think she should still be a face. I think it's just Becky letting out all of this fucking frustration because she worked so goddamn hard to get in that match, and then Charlotte comes back and she's like, "Man, I want my title shot," and Paige is like, "Oh, okay."
Mikey, this is the point where I got heated. This is where the point I got heated.
Becky worked so hard to be in that match, and then Charlotte just gets in like basically no problem, and comes in and wins the match, and ruins Becky's shot again. And I think that's so unbelievably unfair to Becky, and I think she deserved the beat. Like, I think she deserved what she did. Like she earned it. She earned that beatdown that she gave Charlotte.
Mikey, I am in 1,000,000% agreement. This was the thing that got me heated, like looking at Twitter or whatever, people complaining about like, oh, the crowd's cheering Becky for turning heel. I was like sitting here like, why should they be booing her?
Why is Becky the heel here? She should not be the heel here. It should be Charlotte.
No,
Becky worked like, so hard for this.
Why would anyone boo her?
She just got to take it away from her. She earned that beatdown 100%.
The story you've been telling is that like you have this like constant underdog, the person that never gets what we all believe she deserves. She's a fan favorite. You like people empathize with, like, of course people are going to cheer with her. They agree with her. They're like she's taking charge. She's taking what she deserves. Like, this is the same sort of thing that like happened with sort of like a Sami Zayn. Like, if this ever happened with Daniel Bryan, I'm sure the crowd's going to react the same way. Like, if you have this underdog and they're just being aggressive, they're not turning heel. I mean, like, look at like Johnny Gargano, like we said it earlier, like he's the underdog, the fighter. Like, now he's getting this like aggressive streak in him, and now they're like he's trying to get that moment that he deserves. And then like, I don't know, like people complaining about the crowd or saying like it's a different audience than it used to be. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in my opinion. It got me so heated. I mean, the problem is it's different storytelling. I mean, you can't blame the crowd for like reacting like quote unquote incorrectly. It's the writer's decision to tell that story. I mean, she had to beat everyone in the roster to get that number one contendership back. And then Charlotte just shows up, beats Carmella, and then gets into it immediately. Like, that's why is Becky the villain? Like, why is she the villain? She worked hard. She did, like, this is something that we all empathize with her. You work hard, you never get your opportunity, and then like when someone just jumps in line ahead of you, you get mad, like, and then you become the bad person. I don't get it. Like that, like if the writers wanted cheers for this heel turn, like if that's what they wanted, that's what like Vince wanted, then I don't know, like, shouldn't we sort of question if that's really a heel turn, if that's the case, if like people, if they wanted cheers or they expected cheers? Like, that's like, is like a babyface attacking another babyface, like that's the only merit for a heel turn? I don't know. I got a little fired up about it and a little angry about it, but it's just sort of like, it's not a heel turn. I mean, I'll say it. It's not. It's not.
No, if anyone should be the heel in this feud, it's Charlotte, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, she's the bad one in this situation.
Because also, Charlotte has proven she could be a good heel.
Yes, she has. Like, the fact that Becky is now aggressive makes her a heel. I mean, Why would I boo
think
her?
Becky could be the face in this feud still, and Charlotte could turn back to her heel side because we know Charlotte's a good heel, and we know Becky's the best baby face in the game. Like,
Yeah. What I am excited about is my one of our tweets that we had was my prediction about this storyline. I'm very excited about it. That like now with I guess Becky turning heel, you can have this Becky Charlotte Hell in a Cell match that we're gonna get. I'm calling it, Mikey. Hell in a Cell, Becky versus Charlotte. This is what I'm seeing in my third eye is opening. This is what I see on the horizon. I wish Becky won because there's also the Survivor Series matchup happening eventually. And I think Ronda versus Becky would be interesting. But I guess Charlotte would be a bigger name for that. I don't know. Like, I'm excited for where to go with Becky and Charlotte because they're very good wrestlers and they could do very good matchups. But like the storyline parts of like it, like everyone's gonna agree with Becky. I don't see how like anyone could be like, oh, because what does Charlotte say? Like, I deserve this. Like, doesn't Becky do that? Like, I don't get it.
Like you've had that title how many times now? Like,
Yeah, I've won. Becky's won it
get it.
once. You've won it what 5, 6 times?
we get it.
We get it. We get it. Anyways,
She's all like, "Meh, I'm the queen and I want my throne back." Meh, meh, meh. She's just being selfish.
yeah, Becky is the one that deserves this. She's not turning heel. So this is
Like Charlotte couldn't like Charlotte's had that title 6 times and Becky's had it once. Like Charlotte couldn't be like, hey, you know what, Becky, this one's all you. Like, come on,
yeah.
give your friend her fucking shot. Like, I'm so mad.
Like Becky has been a friend to Charlotte when Charlotte held the title, and she was friends with her during then. And she didn't like try to be like, hey, let me fight you for it. She was by her side and saying like, oh, I'm with you. Why couldn't Charlotte do that for Becky and be her friend?
Exactly. That's why Charlotte's the heel in this feud to me.
She's being a bad friend is what she is.
Becky is 100% the face and will always be the face in my mind.
Moving on, WWE Championship match. Samoa Joe defeats AJ Styles by disqualification. Mikey, thoughts on this matchup?
It was pretty good. It was very good. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles performed like I thought they would. It was a little slower than I thought it was going to be, but it was still a very good match, and I was very excited to see Joe and Styles together. I didn't like the DQ ending. Like, I get why it happened, but I still think there could have been an AJ loses cool moment without it having ended DQ.
Yeah. What meatball rating would you give it?
4. I gave it a 4. I gave the match a 4 because it was a good technical match, and moves were executed well. Storytelling was good. Like, it was a clean match. I just didn't like how it ended.
Next up, Miz defeats Daniel Bryan in a singles match. I thought it was very interesting that they followed up the WWE Championship match with Miz defeating, like, Miz v. Bryan. I thought that was an interesting, like, lineup of matches.
I think Miz Bryan was the match of the night.
You think this was the match of the night?
Yeah. I think it was a wonderful match, and I think the Miz winning with the sneaky brass knuckles for Maurice was very good.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for where this goes. I mean, I guess Daniel Bryan re-upped on that contract because you're looking at maybe a multi-month feud here.
I'm excited about that. I want this feud to go on. Just like we said on the Twitter, we want them to fight forever. Like, this feud is amazing. I love it. Let them keep fighting, please.
How many meatballs?
I gave this one 4.5.
Wow. Wowza. Next up, Finn Balor. Finn Balor comes back after, a year maybe? With the Demon defeating Baron Corbin in 1:35. Mikey, thoughts on this match? Well, I guess thoughts on the Demon coming back, really.
Okay. I have 2 thoughts on the Demon coming back. 1, I don't think Corbin deserved the Demon. The second thought I had is, I'm very glad the Demon's back. It was so cool to see Finn come out with that entrance and that face paint again. And the fact that he just squashed Corbin. I think this was one of the squash matches that made sense.
For me, when, like, the Demon came out, I was just sort of like, I was really confused about it. I gotta say, I was really confused about it because I was just like, what the story of this was. Baron Corbin is fighting Finn Balor because Baron Corbin made fun of Finn Balor's height, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this feud deserved the Demon, but I was just excited to see the Demon back.
Oh no, yeah, he that I'm a big fan of Finn Balor. That body paint was something else. He looked it is what it was needed. I mean, essentially, I guess my confusion with the storyline came to the point of saying like, oh, he's essentially saying I may be short, but I have a demon inside of me that can destroy anyone. So do not mess with me. I hope this like gives Finn Balor a little bit of that push. Maybe a Finn Balor Seth Rollins match could be on its way eventually. I want to see less smiling Finn, more like that, like, yeah, I'm not someone you mess with, because if you want to start messing with me, I'll bring out the demon and destroy you. So I'm excited for what can happen.
Yeah. I think they didn't use the demon of how it like usually is used, where it's like Finn brings it out for like the big match, like that he really needs it, like a big Universal title match or like a big feud where it's been building up. I don't think they built up the demon enough in this match. I think they just use it as like a kind of like a shock factor, like, whoa, look, the demon's back, like, instead of being like, oh, Finn brought out the demon, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was definitely used for shock factor. What's
like I like to say that Finn didn't bring out the demon for this match, Vince brought out the demon for this match.
Meatball rating.
I gave this one a 3. I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty. I feel like that 3 comes from like the fact that it was the demon.
Yeah, it was the demon, and since he was the demon, the squash made more sense.
Yeah.
So like, I think this was one of the out of the 3 squashes of the night, 2 of them made sense.
Yeah. Next up, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Jeff Hardy to retain the WWE United States Championship. Thoughts?
Jeff, why do you keep doing this to your back? That swanton on the apron was so scary.
Terrifying.
I saw on Reddit, it was like, Jeff, oh yeah, I don't do the swanton that much because it hurts my back. Also, Jeff, just fuck me up, fam. Like...
I don't know what Jeff Hardy's thinking. He's just gonna die that one day. His back is just...
the match all around I thought was pretty good, though. It was a good Jeff Shinsuke match, and I think that Jeff trying to go too extreme, costing him the match, was a good way for him to lose. And Shinsuke taking advantage of that was good, and I thought it was like 3.5 star match.
Meatballs.
Or meatball, sorry.
It's meatballs. How dare you? Next up, Ronda Rousey defeats Alexa Bliss for the WWE Raw Women's Championship in a 4-minute match. I believe this was, speaking of 4 minutes, I believe this is Ronda Rousey's 4th match in WWE. So a minute for every match she's had as a wrestler, and she wins the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Mikey, thoughts?
I thought it was good. It was a squash, which made sense because I don't think Alexa Bliss could stand up to Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda squashing the hell out of Bliss was incredible. And I think it was a good match. It was just good. Like, there was nothing too much to say about it. Like, there wasn't any huge spots. It was just good. So yeah. I give it but Bliss's arm scared the hell out of me because goddamn, it looked brutal at the end.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at, like, top of the sports headline tomorrow, Ronda Rousey defeating Alexa Bliss, that image of Alexa Bliss's arm with Ronda doing that is what you publish on your newspapers and the headlines the next day.
I seriously think Bliss's arm might have actually broke because that was insane. Like, that was too crazy.
What's your meatball rating here?
I gave it a 3, though, because it was good. It was just a solid match. There was nothing too crazy about it. It was just good.
Nice. And finally, for your main event, Roman Reigns defeats finally defeats Brock Lesnar and wins the WWE Universal Championship with some weird Braun Strowman stuff in the middle in 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Mikey, what are your thoughts on Roman Reigns finally defeating Brock Lesnar and getting that WWE Universal Championship?
I want to feel happier for him. I really, really do.
Yeah.
But I'm too mad at WWE for the shit they pulled during this match.
Yeah? What do you mean?
The fact that they brought out Braun to be like, man, I'm cashing in after this. And then him not cashing in just to keep people in their seats so they didn't leave early for the Roman Reigns match like they always do was bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I get they were like, oh, but Brock beat up Braun too much for him to cash in, and he threw his Money in the Bank all the way up the ramp, as if Braun can't run over and get it. Like,
true, that is true.
I just thought they just used Braun as like a way to keep people in their seats, and I thought that was ridiculous. Like, everyone thought Braun was gonna cash in, and then they end with Roman being like, man, look, I won finally.
That is true.
And it wasn't even a match. Like,
the fact that it was the fact that it was 6 minutes was insane to me. The fact that it was like it's a real short match, I was just like, wow, I would have thought this match should have been longer, I guess. But I guess Braun...
Exactly. Like, it wasn't even a match. It was Roman doing some Superman punches and some spears, Brock locking in like one submission hold twice, and then attacking Braun Strowman, and then coming back in and taking another finisher and losing. Like, it was so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the story of Brock, like, it does feel weird that, like, I guess this made him nervous or whatever. I feel like there should have been more. I don't know. There should have been more, I think. I think it's short, maybe. What was your meatball rating here?
Okay, so I have two for this one.
2? Okay.
One, the match I gave was a one meatball rating because I just thought it was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving it 100 because the belt is finally off of Brock. So I'm giving it 100 meatballs for that because thank fucking God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you would have given 1,000 if this took place in the Tokyo Dome. Anyways, I have a question for you, Mikey. With Roman finally winning the big one off of Brock, does this feel like this could have happened at WrestleMania? This could have happened at Greatest Royal Rumble. This could have happened anytime. Does this now feel like Roman's coronation that we've been so much waiting for?
No.
Or on the edge of our seats, I guess, for Roman's coronation. Does this feel like it's his time?
No, not at all.
Really? Okay. Why not?
I don't think it felt like a proper coronation. I think it was just like, look, he won. And then they faded to black. Like, there was no spectacle to it. Like, it was dumb. Like, it was like, if the match was better, if it was a longer match, and they didn't have Braun just standing there just to keep people in their seats, maybe I would have been like, all right, cool, he won and he's finally the champion. This is finally his time. But it was like a 6-minute match where it was a 6-minute finisher fest where Brock wasn't even fighting Roman half the time.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I agree with you that, like, if this was maybe a 15-minute match with Roman and Brock going back and forth, no Braun there to disrupt them, and then he finally wins it, and then confetti comes out, like, that would feel like a coronation. That'd be like he proved to himself.
Exactly. Like, that would have felt good, and I would have been, all right, he did it. Congrats. But Roman won via distraction, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that is sort of true. I do have a prediction of what could happen on Monday, even though this would happen. Again, we're recording Monday morning, releasing Tuesday, so we don't know what's happening at all Monday Night Raw. My prediction for Monday Night Raw is Brock comes out, surprise attacks Roman, then Braun comes out and cashes in for that Universal Championship. I think the story you're going is he won the big one, he's able to defeat the monster Brock Lesnar, but Braun's now on top. He's the new king of the mountain. I think that's sort of where you should go. That's my prediction, at least, for what happened yesterday.
What I would want to happen was, I want Kevin Owens to finally get his fucking revenge. I want Kevin Owens to finally get the upper hand on Braun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're a big Kevin Owens fan. I mean,
no, but like storyline wise too, because like throughout the whole feud between Kevin and Braun, Kevin has gotten nothing. Sure, he won the cage match, but he got thrown through the table. Like, he didn't really win. Like, Braun has come out on top every single time. And from a storyline perspective, that's just kind of ridiculous. What was the point of the feud? To make to make Braun look more like a monster than we already knew he was? Like, it doesn't help either of their characters. Like, it makes Braun look the same and Kevin look worse.
That is a good point. It's like he was already the monster. How do you make him more monster? I mean,
Exactly.
if it ended with putting Kevin Owens like into a safe and throwing him over into a river, sure, he's a monster. I will say he's more of a monster that way. But like murder a guy, you're a monster then. But like I don't know, like yeah, you're right. It is sort of he's now the same character, and Kevin is now a loser because he got squashed.
Just don't think. I think if Kevin finally gets his revenge, it'll like be like, all right, Kevin Owens is still like is not just a fucking jobber. And I think if he gets his revenge and like gets that briefcase, I think we can have a cool Kevin Owens cash in on Roman Reigns. Or Kevin Owens they can continue the feud, and if Braun does win the Universal title, we can have a Kevin Owens Braun Universal title match, because I want Kevin Owens to shine like the star he is.
That is true. That is true.
But they are not. They're making him look like a jobber, and it's really annoying me.
Well, hopefully we can figure all that out, and maybe we can make Kevin Owens not look like the jobber he currently kind of is on our booking show for Hit the Book SmackDown Live.